Hello, my name is Allison, and today I will be teaching brow design through the observational learning model. So I've chosen observational learning because it focuses on learning a new skill through demonstration. The 4 steps include attention, retention, motor reproduction, and reinforcement. So attention for the classroom is we're going to be captivating and get the knowledge behind the actual lesson through engaging and enthusiasm and captivating models. Retention, which is going to be how the learner or student can recall what is being remembered or said. Motor reproduction, which we're going to demonstrate the skills and be sure students have these skills so they are comfortable replicating at home. Reinforcement, which is where the lesson, the information the students will get, they'll be able to replicate the skills at home, thus reinforcing knowledge and retention. So first, we're going to go over essentially the brow design background knowledge with our chart here. So everything that you're going to do is a map of the actual nose. So taking the nose of the face and the eye, we're going to actually be able to figure out a mapping system that you can use and remember the easy process here. So with new students, I usually recommend using like an eyeshadow or an eyeliner that's really bright. So when you're actually holding up your tool to mark it out on your face, you can still see the little lines on your face. So for our model here, we're going to line up our tool first with the outside of the nose. So right where your bone is, right here, this is your first line. And we just do a tick. So that is where the start of your eyebrow is going to be, just right here. Our next part is your arch. So for the arch of the brow, it's a little bit trickier. You want to go on the inside divot of the nostril here, through the pupil, and all the way up is where your arch will be. So just like that. So again, close up, you're going to take the inner part of your nose here, through the pupil, and that is where your arch will be. So we hold up our tool. Nasal mark, eye, that is our second line there. So the final mark that you're going to make is the tail of the eyebrow. So where your tail should end, which is just the outer side of the nose and the outer eye, and it'll line up perfectly with the eyebrow. So like that. And again, outer nostril, outer eye, and it'll end right there. So we hold it up in our marking system with our tool and right there. The final one that you can do, which is optional, but it kind of helps even out the planes of the eyebrow, is literally I just hold a tool up to make sure that they're even. So you literally just place it on the bridge of the nose, and where the brows meet in the middle should make a little perfect square. So that's it. That's all for the actual mapping of the face. I always recommend different ways that you can do it at home to make it easy. Like if you have a tool that is actually the specific size, then you can do it no problem. And if you follow the face chart equally, you should literally be able to replicate it no problem. So if I'm looking straight ahead, so now I'm just going to demonstrate the skill after we've gone through the process of learning our mapping, how to remember the mapping at home. So I take my tool. That's the start of my brow. Tool over here. You can always do a full mark. I usually like to do concealer, that way it's easier to blend. So that is where you want to end. And then through the brow right here. So you can even do another tick right here. It's a little bit easier to see, right? The final step after you do your ticks is you literally just connect the lines. So long one up here. I like to pull towards just because your hand naturally arches downward. So we're just going to pull forward, connecting our lines. Connecting our back line here. So here's our arch, ticky tick, and we're literally pulling all the way down to our back line here. So this line that we've made up here to our arch, we can now pull downward to connect. And then we're just gonna fill in, fill, la la la, nice and bushy. Perfect. And then our last line that we're gonna connect is the arch of the brow, pulling forward. I don't like to go all the way forward just because it looks very drawn, so I go about halfway. But you do you. It is your face. And then just some cleanup here and there. Before, after. And that is our whole eyebrow design. All you have to do is go around with concealer. I use the same brush that I map with just so it's close to home. Obviously, if this was a longer lesson, we would go more in depth. And then I always go right where the arch is and just cut it over top. So then it's not pointy and it's nice and curvy. And then working upwards, working down. The heat of your hand will naturally melt any product into the skin. So if we go through everything we just learned, just to reinforce our knowledge to make sure that everyone can do this because it's super easy. So make sure all of your lines add up. So that is the outer nose, all the way up for your bones. The brush will naturally sit. Your arch, which is where your nostril meets here, little inner part of the nose curve here, meets. Through the pupil, there's our arch. And then our tail of our brow is going to be outer nostril, corner of the eye. If it's longer, you can literally just wipe away. Yay! Super easy, super fun, and it's a skill that most people nowadays want to know how to do, but they don't know how. So hopefully through the observational learning model, you're able to learn something through the demonstration and feel comfortable replicating it at home. I always recommend just sealing with some clear mascara. Then you can literally go about your day or have one eyebrow. It's up to you. So thanks for tuning in to my mini lesson. I hope you learned something, and if not, I hope it was fun. Bye.